What's up, everybody? So real quick before this video begins, this Saturday, January 4th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a live stream on this channel. And that's right, you heard me, a live stream, the first on this account. So if you want to stop by, ask me any questions, whether that be personal or music related, or just straight up have a discussion, either or is fine to me. I'm just going to be streaming on this account. So if you want to catch that, stop by again, January 4th, this Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope to catch you guys all there, and I'll see you Saturday. Thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? So today in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I post-process all my vocals, that being for music, or if I'm just doing a voiceover, say for YouTube or something like that. This is what I do to get the quality that I get. So if you've been watching my last couple of videos, that is the quality that you can expect to get after watching this video. So what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to play you what this clip on my screen sounds like after I used all my plugins, and then I'm just going to walk you through what I'm using and how to use it yourself. So unfortunately, OBS for whatever reason is not picking up the output from my DAW. So what I did was I just exported this clip with the plugins on it, and I have it right here, which I will then play it so that you can hear how it sounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. A favorite among our most discerning audiophile clients, the HD600 Open Dynamic professional stereophones are an ideal choice for the pro audio engineer recording classical music. Exacting design standards ensure the finest performance. Features include high-quality open metal mesh earpiece covers for extremely transparent sound, computer-optimized magnet systems to minimize harmonic and intermodulation distortion, and extremely lightweight aluminum voice coils for excellent transient response. All right, so yeah, that is what you can expect to get after watching this video, and it's really easy to get that quality. But first and foremost, let me just say that the biggest thing that you can do for your recordings is by treating the environment that you are in. So if you're recording in, say, your bedroom and you have a little mini studio, make sure that you can somehow record all your vocals in a treated environment. So whether that be like a closet, or maybe a corner of your room has some foam pads, or just something to try to cut back on the reverberation in your room. So for me, I'm recording all my vocals in a small little closet that is in this room, which is not treated, but the closet is treated. I have foam pads in there, and I have some clothes hanging up on the rack, and a giant comforter which I hung up in front of the door. So that is recorded in that little mini closet, but you would have thought that was recorded in a legitimate studio. But no, it's recorded in a very tiny closet. So if you can, try to record in a environment where it is treated. That's the number one thing that you can do. And of course, having some decent equipment, but you don't have to break the bank. I'm using for that clip, I use the Stellar X2 and then my Motu M2, which is under $400. So there's no doubt about it, you can get some professional quality out of a very affordable setup. $400 is not bad, and you can get some professional sounding gear. So yeah, that is what I use to do that, or to record that little clip that you just heard. So now, with that being said and all that out of the way, I'm going to show you guys the plugins that I use, my favorite ones, and just teach you the basics, and then you can apply this to your next work. So keep in mind, these are some plugins that I have purchased from Waves. So you have to buy these if you want to use these exact same ones. But a lot of the times, the DAW that you're using will have plugins that are similar to the ones that I'm using. For example, I'm using PreSonus Studio One 4. And on this DAW, they have a LA2A that they make, and I'll show you guys just what that looks like real quick. You have to go to here, and then the tube comp. So you don't have to buy any of these plugins. You can just run whatever your DAW is using and get very similar results. However, if you want the exact same results that I'm getting, these are the plugins that I'm using. So let's start off with probably the most important plugin, and this is just one of my favorite plugins of all time. This is the SSL channel, and pretty much with this, you have your filter section. So you're gonna have an EQ, a little high pass, low pass. Then you have a dynamic section, which is your compressor and your gate. Pretty much this is where I start cutting out all the bad frequencies, the frequencies that I feel like are going to ruin the recording. So I cut from under 80 Hertz. I leave this alone up here. I add just a little bit of shine to the recording. So I go up to 0.7 decibels at 8 kilohertz, and then I leave these alone for the mids. And then right here at the bottom, where I feel like a lot of people have like mud in their recordings, I cut out at 310. So for me, that sounds pretty good. I cut out at 310, 1.5 decibels. And then over here, I do some very, very light compression. Basically what I try to do is all these little transients you see where it kind of spikes up in the recording, I can point out, right here, and then, right here, right there, right here, right there. I mean, it's not always going to be a flat signal. Obviously, your voice is going to have little peaks and parts in the recording where you're going to have louder transients. So I use the compressor to tame that a little bit, and keyword little bit, I only want to hit 3 on those little transient peaks. So be sparing with it, because the way I do compression is I stack a lot of different EQs on top of each other to give it a nice tone and sound. So this is just what I'm doing. It's going to be different for you when you go to compress. So I just try to hit 3 on those transient peaks. And then for the gate, I don't really mess with the gate too often. I think it sounds it's just artificial sounding in my opinion. So I don't really like using it. Sorry, I don't like using a gate. But do you? If you like the sound of a gate, then go ahead. You can use that right here. And then also right here where you see this little out section, and then there's a little slider, I just make up for what I compress. So I figured right here I'm at most getting 3 decibels of gain reduction, but I found that at 1.8 boosting the signal 1.8 makes up for my my compression, the decibel reduction. I noticed that when I go up to 1.8, it put me right back at -12. So that was the reasoning for boosting at 1.8. It put me right at -12, which is where I want to be for this channel. Okay, so that is the SSL E-channel by Waves. That's kind of what I do with this. This handles pretty much everything. Like this is the bulk of what we're about to do is all handled right here. So definitely an important plugin that I would say if you're going to get one, this is the one to get for sure. And then let's move on to the CLA 2A. When I'm using this, I really only want to be getting about maybe a decibel or 2 of gain reduction, or of reduction, and I'll make up for that by again boosting my signal back up to -12, because what's going to happen is after you reduce, it's going to drop your signal a little bit amount, and then I just make up for that with the gain knob and put me right back at -12. Simple enough. It's pretty straightforward. You have 2 different knobs to use, and this is what controls the amount of reduction, and then this is the makeup gain, obviously. So yeah, that is what I do for compression, and just run those 2 compressors on this channel right here, and I'm good to go. Moving on. So this is how I handle all those the sibilants and all that, just that irritating sound. This is how I tame that. I take care of it. So pretty much what I do is I will turn the gain up all the way, and and then I'll mess with this little Q knob. It originally will start somewhere like maybe like this or so. I just narrow that, so I'll go all the way to its max, so 6.5 is its max, and then I'll just cycle around through the frequencies until I hear the annoying little sibilant sound, and then I will drop to no more than -3 decibels. Again, this is something that you can mess with and see what you want to do. I find that -3 makes it sound just fine enough for me, so I will go to -3 at somewhere in the 7,000s is usually about where I go. And that's how I control my S's. Again, if I go back and play the clip, I'm gonna have to go back and open it here. If I play this clip, notice just how polished it sounds, and this is all from during mixing. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on it now, and you guys can listen again. A favorite among our most discerning audiophile clients, the HD600 Open Dynamic Professional Stereophones are an ideal choice for the pro audio engineer recording classical music. Exacting design standards ensure the finest performance. Features include high-quality open metal mesh earpiece covers for extremely transparent sound, computer-optimized magnet systems to minimize harmonic and intermodulation distortion, and extremely lightweight aluminum voice coils for excellent transient response. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but to me that just sounds absolutely amazing, and the fact that that's recorded in a small room inside an apartment is pretty mind-blowing. I love the way it sounds. So these plugins are just like absolutely so worth the money. These are my go-tos for sure. And then real fast, guys, I'm just gonna show you on my my master fader right here what plugins I use on that, because it can get a little confusing. So for me, I find that running this G Master bus compressor, again by Waves, the solid state Logic compressor, this thing is just, I can't say enough about it. It is so amazing. I love this thing so much, and it really shines when you're making music. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have this along with the E channel, these are ones to get today. Like, you need to go get them right now. So what I'll do is I will drop the ratio to 2. I don't mess with the rate, I leave it alone. I put my release on auto. Attack is usually around 1, although that kind of depends on what you're working on. For voiceover stuff, I usually keep it at 1. And then for the threshold, I will adjust this until we're getting around -2 decibels of reduction, and then I'll make up for it by, as you guess, adding back 2 decibels of makeup. And that's how I use this, and it just absolutely the word they use a lot of the times to describe it is it kind of glues the track. That's what they say. That's the term they use. Once you use this, you will understand why. It literally will make everything like sound exactly like it should be together. And I love the tone that it gives you when you use this on your vocals. So I will run this even when I'm just doing voiceover work. I'll put this on the master bus and do very, very light compression. Again, all this compression is very subtle, but it all adds up. It will all add up and make your track sound just absolutely beautiful. So this and the E channel by Waves are go-tos. I would say if you don't have these, buy these today. 100%. Those are the 2 plugins that are worth it. And then real quick, guys, this is the last thing. This is just a clean gain knob. Your DAW probably has something like this. I'm using PreSonus Studio 1.4, so this is what mine looks like. It's called the mix tool, and pretty much you just use this to add gain to whatever track you're on. So being that this is the master bus, I had it at earlier, I don't know why it's at 1, but earlier I had it at 4 decibels, and I was outputting at, I think it was like -6, either -8 to -6, which is exactly where I want it when I'm doing just like voiceover work that I'm going to put up on YouTube. I like to keep the audio right at around -8 to -6. I find that it suffices for YouTube. It sounds just fine, and it sounds great on mobile devices, on your speakers, on your headphones. I mean, you name it. It sounds amazing right around -8 to -6. It's just loud enough. But it's very, very easy to get good quality. Really, you just need, I would say, this is optional, and you're going to have an EQ in your DAW. Like, it's just mandatory. And if you had to buy 2 plugins right now, the ones I would recommend is the E channel, the SSL E channel by Waves, and this SSL G Master bus compressor, again by Waves. It's just, these 2 are so amazing. I can't say enough about them. They're just phenomenal. They're just game changers, no doubt about it. And then real quick, for the people that are doing this for music, if you wanted to add effects to your fader, what you're going to do is just go to add bus channel and then select what you want. So a lot of the times when I'm doing vocals, I will add something like this H delay, right? And you just kind of blend it into where you want it to be. And this is separate from this, so you can put on a ton of different effects that'll only affect this, and then you can just blend it into your track. So again, I would recommend you do that with your effects. So when you do reverb, delay, anything, whatever, put it on a bus channel. Trust me, you will agree that it is night and day difference. It sounds better. It kind of ruins your main track. I feel like your main track is just for polishing the actual signal, and then whatever effects you add to it, do that on a bus. So anyways, guys, I think that's about it. It's really easy to get good quality. I would say pick up those 2 plugins and you're set to record some phenomenal audio. So I think that's about it, guys. If you have any questions or I missed something that you guys are curious about, go ahead and just leave that in the comment section and I will get back to you and hopefully be able to help you out. Other than that, guys, I hope you're able to use this in your next project, because I know it's a pretty tricky game out there getting good sound. There's a lot of things that people are trying to push and tell you to buy, but really I feel like you should keep it all pretty simple at the end of the day. You shouldn't be using a ton of plugins and processing. It should all be fairly simple. But anyhow, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching the video. I will catch you in the next one. That's been all. Peace out, guys.